How's it going, Twitch? My name is Skull, and on behalf of East Asia Soft, welcome to today's stream. Today, I am playing through Finding the Soul Orb, coming to consoles this week, so consider this an early look at this game. I am playing on PlayStation 5, and webcam's back, so let's see. Hi, Nian, and hi, R3D Senpai. How you doing? As usual, I'm going to this game completely blind. I have no idea what to expect, so let's see what awaits us. So yeah, my trip to Florida was great. Saw Artemis 1 launch. Closest person in the world. Just a subtle flex there. Wow, look at that. That is pretty. Look at that scene. Go through the settings as usual. English, German, that's Russian, right? Turkish, Spanish. Wow, lots of different languages. Very easy, extremely easy, easy, very easy, extremely easy. Let's just go with very extremely easy. I don't want to struggle on stream. We need some Korean. Korean would be nice. Will influencers and streamers be able to get this game too? That is a good question. I know that we do sometimes have like review copies that we give out to people. I don't know about this case. That's not my department. My department is they give me the game to stream and I stream it, but I'll ask if we'll have some review codes to give out. So, looks good. Looks good. New game. Well, 1%? 36 trophies. Okay. I'm only the second person to play this on PS5. Well, no, I'm not. I guess I'm the fourth. Okay. Okay, well, I missed whatever that was. Okay, well, I can't stream it because of limitations. But the game is playing. It looks like it's a full... It's for sure 60 FPS. Doing some pixel peeping here. This might be a full 4K on PS5. This looks very nice. If it's not 4K, it's a very, very clean 1080p. Can run with L2 or R1. Interesting. Let's just take a moment to admire that. Look at that. That is beautiful. Wow. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Ah, crows. I suppose we're going to that hut. Hut. What is this? High Wizard Titia tapped her staff against the small slab of golden meteorite that lay on the bedrock table. Surrounding her were 11 other high wizards from throughout the kingdom. One wizard stood out from the others. Why is this needed? He asked. Villages can solve their own problems. Titia simply ignored him. Hi, Jesus. Look at that. That's pretty. Man, the textures in this game are just very, very clean. Look at that. Very nice to look at. I don't suppose this is a walking simulator. Although it might be. There have been plenty of walking simulators for me to play in the past, and I don't hate any of them, honestly. Another wizard pulled him back. It's set in stone. Now is not the time. But we have never had such peace in the land before, Marco replied. This shall take away some of our power. Titia ignored the proceedings behind her. She held her staff in the air and walked around in circles. Where am I to go? If we are to make our way up to that hut... Do we go this way? We cannot. Do we go back onto our boat? There's a giant ship out there. There's a giant ship. Oh, can I go in the house maybe? Oh, I can. Is there any reason to? Doesn't look like it. Okay. What about this house? I don't want any jump scares. Demon 1, trophy earned. Collect the first demon at chapter 1. Great. Is there really nothing else for me to do here? That texture got a little glitched, I think. The game's a little dark. Oh, I could go this way. Here we go. Figured it out. Got some ominous music there. Step back, everyone, she commanded. The group obeyed, even the disobedient Marco. The golden meteorite lifted up into the air, following the path of her staff. When it reached 2 yards, she held it to attention. It started spinning on its axis, getting faster and faster. Okay. She muttered a chant that soon became distant. Hear ye, I command you to be the soul orb for a lifetime. The sun shone brightly in the sky above them. The sun then lined up in an exact path with the rotating meteorite. Close your eyes, she commanded. Oh, hello, yeah? May not have been a jump scare, but man, that's unnerving. Ugh. Hope everyone sleeps well tonight, yeah? Everyone obeyed. The sun shot a sharp beam of light from its corona straight out through space, quickly entering Earth's atmosphere. It kept on going. Titia held positive thoughts in her mind. If she had gotten the calculations incorrect, the experiment would fail. But the beam of light hit the rotating meteorite. The meteorite lit up in flames. And then? I'm guessing since there was a difficulty setting, there is more to this game than just walking, but... I know there's plenty of people who love atmosphere in their games, but I could do a little less without stuff like that. Not for me. She carefully peered out from between squinted eyes. Open your eyes, she demanded of her team. They all watched as the minerals within the meteorite were consumed by flames. Then the ball was one huge mass of flames. Marco was entranced, wondering what would happen next. So much energy. Could the village afford to send it away? Unsettling is a pretty good word to describe this. I wouldn't call it like horrific, but definitely unsettling. Definitely not the kind of game that you play to help relax. Huh, there's a symbol up there. Look, what is that? It's like a bird feather inside of a goodie bag. Oh, and there's actual birds, and there's a hand. Let me guess, we're going to step on the hand. That's a beautiful view. Look at that sunset, though. That's pretty. That's very pretty. Ooh, wild horses! And look, there's a church in the background. Oh, wow. Let's just take a moment to look at that. That is gorgeous. And we teleported? We teleported. I guess we go this way. Music is nicer too. He didn't think so. He raised his staff into the air. A large stream of water flew from his staff and hit the center of the flaming ball. Titia watched as the flames were extinguished within the orb. What was left was a round, neon blue, glowing ball about the size of a balloon. I'm a sucker for nature, okay? I love traveling around and seeing all the beauty of the world. So this is just gorgeous. This totally looks like it could be a real place. Like a national park or something. Was there a sword next to me? Well, if there was, I missed it. There's a hut here, and there's a drawbridge there. Guess we're going to the hut. Man, that skybox is beautiful. Aw, poor Wolfie. We knew you had too little. Honey, I'm home. Well, there's a crossbow. So we can shoot stuff now? Yes, it appears we can. Well, now that we're up here, was there anything else that we needed? Music stopped. It won't let us get any closer to the edge than this. Okay, well, I guess we're going over here to the bridge. I know in Colorado in the Rocky Mountains there are huts kind of like this one here that you can like rent out for a day or for a night, and that's something I might consider doing. Is just renting one of those to just stay in the mountains for maybe a weekend. Well, I see that. That did not go where I aimed. Okay. That really missed? Guess I'll get a little closer. Why does that go down? there we go. Went a little to the left, but we got it. Music's back. My face looks so pale. There! Called out Marco. No energy shall leave our village! Titia turned to him. No, you are wrong. He gazed at her in anger. She turned and pointed her staff at the orb. Behold, this is the soul orb. It shall continue on its journey, finding its purpose. With that, the soul orb rose into the air, banked sharply to the left, and escaped the village. So the soul orb has a soul of its own, I suppose? You guys see that, right? Sure looks like a flying gargoyle to me. Gargoyle of 1 trophy earned. Shoot the gargoyle of chapter 1. Okay. Wait, chapter 1? How many chapters? That was my phone. How many chapters are there? The High Wizards looked after it. What just happened? Yelled Marco. Why, you provided the last bit of the spell. And I thank you very much. She glanced at him and smiled. He wasn't certain whether to laugh, cry, or yell, so instead he went with the other High Wizards to the local pub for a pint of ale. There's a snake in a bottle there, up there. Kind of feels like it's getting a little later in the day. A temple? Oh, well. Just faded out. Chapter 2. The Tyrant's Kingdom. I want to take a look at my trophies here, see if I might have missed anything. 12 chapters! There's a demon, there's a gargoyle. Apparently there's a werewolf. There's a demon and a gargoyle in every single chapter. Okay, so you might potentially be able to get a platinum trophy through a single playthrough, but you really need to explore and get everything and not miss anything. I wonder what this is a temple for. That rock formation looks like the chameleon from Tangled. Anyway. Oh, hey, we're overlooking a little village here. A little village with a little castle and a much bigger cathedral. Wow. Look at the snow on those mountains in the distance. That is gorgeous. The king sat upon his throne, holding a very heavy staff in his hand. He thumped the floor with it. There were several people in the audience. There were no chairs. They uncomfortably sat up straight to view the proceedings. "Send in the next one," the king commanded. A knight dragged in a male prisoner. "What is his crime?" he asked, while his advisor stood to the side looking nervous. The knight explained, "This man stole bread from the market." The prisoner managed a quick bow to the king, then stood up straight. "My dear king, my family is starving. It's not safe in the fields. The workers are being attacked while you do nothing. Because that'll end well. Maybe go to the village. I can't. Definitely. Oh, hey, I can. Although it warps me out, and, yeah, you can't go into the village. This is definitely something for you to just look at from afar. It's a very pretty looking village, though. Definitely European. Like, it looks maybe Italian or possibly German. It reminds me of something I would have seen at Epcot, and the music doesn't... music definitely helps with that feeling. It's very pretty. And I just love the look of, like, this little village down here, but with all of the mountains and stuff way up there in the background. It just gives it this quaint feel. Very quaint. The advisor stepped forward. My king, our villagers are starving. I suggest some leniency here. The king thought it through. There had been a day when a thief would be sent on his way with food and a promise he'd never do it again. But that was in the past. The villagers were getting out of control. Soon no one would obey him and his poor kingdom would fall. Oh, come on, king. Be nice about it. The guy admitted he stole and he said, why? Why don't you do something about it? You shall spend a week doing hard labor. You'll be getting free provisions during that time. The knight grabbed the prisoner's arm, hauling him away. But sir, what about my family? He cried out. He could look after himself, but his poor wife and children. Are there any other complaints today, or is that it? The king asked his advisor. Not such a benevolent king after all, man. Advi sadly nodded to the negative. The day is done, your highness. But what about my concern? Called a villager in the distance. Or mine, called out another one. Silence, called out the advisor. Time is up for today. You may return tomorrow. Several people in the audience groaned. Guess this is not the best kingdom to be in. Just gave me my bow and arrow again. Is that the werewolf? That's unintentional, but did you notice how the werewolf died because it took an arrow to the knee? Oh, man. I was once a great killing machine and took like until I took an arrow to the knee. Well, missed. Oh, that is the most scary thing. I just turn around and it's running at me. Oh man, I genuinely got chills down my spine when I saw that. That was scary. Another one of these. Genuinely, oh man, it's not like it scared me, but that was just, that felt so bad. Just a barn. Ugh. I assume they'll give me back my bow and arrow when it's time to shoot a gargoyle. What a blackguard! I guess blackguard, called out a voice. The king looked around for the traitor, but couldn't figure out who had called out those words. He shrugged. The king tossed his gold staff to the ground. Then a banquet it is! Advi looked sadly down at the gold staff, which held enough gold to feed the entire village for 10 years. He felt bad that village council had lasted only minutes today. So I guess now I really do only have to worry about a demon and gargoyle in every single stage, or every single chapter. So as long as I pay attention, then by the time I'm done with this game, I will get the platinum. I won't have to redo any chapters. The staff lay there, forgotten. Advi looked down at it. He supposed he'd better lock it up, otherwise his life would be on the line should it become lost. Advi picked it up and carried it outside. It would go back to the treasure tower. As he walked, he found the sun extra bright that day. He held up his arm to protect his eyes. He kept walking, then felt his eyes burning. Okay. Oh, this way. Thought. Hidden pathway, off to the right. Here we go. Got silent. Here we go. Oh, more werewolves. Another arrow to the knee. You notice how I'm, like, aiming at their heart, but arrow just drops, yo. Goes wherever it wants. You see that? Straight down. I was ready for it to come at me that time. Music's still going. There has to be another one somewhere. That is so unnerving. Please make the music stop. Whew, okay. I've already been playing for half an hour? Wow. Okay. Excuse me. Look at these rocks. They're like they were left over from when a mountain has been carved. Then he saw a bright blue orb flash near his head. What the? He watched as the orb connected with the red stone at the tip of the staff. A purple color lit up the royal yard. He quickly closed his eyes. I noticed the first chapter, the word two was in all caps, and now we got the word purple in all caps. So two purple. Do we need to remember these? Just in case, people in the chat, keep notes. Two purple. And then we'll see what happens in future chapters. He quickly closed his eyes. When he opened them again, the bright orb was gone. Advi checked the ruby stone at the tip of the staff. It was warm, but had no signs left of the soul orb. I wonder if, at the end of the game, The words spell out a secret message. It'll probably be something like, be sure to drink your Ovaltine. Wait, what is the soul orb? He whispered to himself. Then he remembered he had to quickly get the gold staff under lock and key. There were many poor stragglers wandering the yard who were looking at him curiously. He thought he overheard conversations that were against the king. There was a small group near the pub. Join with us to overthrow the king, one called out. Yes, cried many of the villagers who were standing by. We are tired of being attacked and going hungry, while the king thrives among his jewels and food. Here, here, called a woman. Oh man, imagine. Okay, I hit one. See another one this way. Where is that going? Where is that going? Okay. Guess it doesn't exactly matter where I aim, huh? Oh, I still have my bow out. I wonder if there's a gargoyle for me to shoot somewhere. This is a very dimly lit game. I presume that's on purpose. Here we go. There we go. Then the villagers saw the king's advisor and scattered, but Advi had to get the gold staff locked up. He was run ragged and simply didn't have the time to deal with the potential revolt. Also, he agreed with what they were saying. No, the atmosphere changed. It went from a more red light to a more blue light. Don't know if that's just because the sun is setting or because we're getting a better perspective of what he's going through. Chapter 3, Meeting Alexander. Alexander's Dream.
Hello, Alexander. It's time to find me. What an easy life you lead. I am the Soul Orb. I'm newly born and uncertain where to begin. I thought these caverns would be a waste of time, but I've been floating through, hoping to meet someone to help me. I just happened to float over your sleeping form when I saw those werewolves. I hope you are safe from them while you rest, though I dare say their claws might get you. I know you can hear me, and I believe you can help me. Wow, you look so tired, like you've been fighting an army of werewolves.
Okay.
Anyway, enough rest. Now, it is time for you to come find me, the Soul Orb, in these caverns. I have a head start, so I hope you can catch up.
What? What just happened? There's a... Wait a minute. Oh, there's extra demons in chapter 2. Okay, I get it. There's 2 demons in chapter 2, so I missed one. So no platinum on this run. That's fine. Okay, well, in that case, I'll just not worry about doing extra things. I'll just play the... I'll just walk straight through then. I am very confused about what we just saw, though. Like, what? What was that? Psst, called out a voice. When the kings patrol to the left, when the knights patrol to the left, we'll sneak through to the right. Okay, I see that, his friend whispered back. Got all the kids? Yep. West, called out the knight, clutching his long staff. He stiffly turned to the west. The music is very pretty. The music is very pretty right now. While his back was turned, a group of 12 people slowly crept forward. The knight's figure got smaller in the distance. By the time he hit the wall and had turned around, the 12 villagers had all fled. Marco saw what had happened from the tower he was hiding in. He just shook his head. It wasn't his job to keep the villagers inside after all. If people were scared, people were scared. Oh man, that sun is bright. It's very beautiful. The music, oh man, let's just take a moment here to look at that scenery and listen to the music. Oh, that is gorgeous. Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. All he could do was look after himself, and he did. He had a secret key to the food stores and helped himself regularly to them so he didn't have to rely on buying scarce and extremely expensive food from the market stalls. He waved his staff in front of him. Since he had been one of the makers of the Soul Orb, however unintentionally, he'd been watching its path. What a gorgeous game. Pfft, it moved. Oh, good, there's more. Okay, we're fine. Man, whenever the music changes and it starts sprinting for me, that really gets me every time. It's no longer a chill down my spine, but it's definitely my heart fluttering in my chest a little. Right now, it seemed to be near a cavern at the back of the town. He needed some fresh air, especially after turning 10 pounds of pyrite into a few flakes of gold dust. Still, he felt proud of his accomplishments. After all, perhaps one day he could rule the village, and not the king. It's stupid king. I saw that from a mile away. Oh, and it just automatically takes me. Got it. Man, that harp is... Man, that harp is beautiful. He hopped down each step of the long spiral staircase, clutching his redwood staff in his hand. He'd carved it himself from the branch of a redwood tree back when he was just a wizling. He knew that many of the villagers were fleeing the tyranny of the king, while many others plotted against him. And just as many were loyal to him, too. Not surprising, those who were loyal were those he favored with wine, food, and gifts. I see ya. Now we got a bit of a green hue going on here. Finally, he reached the ground. One day he'd be inside the castle, and not some ridiculously tall and cold tower. He waved his staff in the air. Where was the soul orb now? Oh yes, it was near the granary. How curious. Perhaps it was taking inventory? He shook his head. He didn't know if the soul orb would help or hinder his own quest. Well, this is curious. Looks like a square cave. How he saw exactly where the soul orb was located and headed to that part of the village to see what it was up to. The orb was hovering near a part of the wall that had been damaged by vicious creatures. It hadn't been repaired yet, as the town's workers were rapidly diminishing. They were needed to protect the fields and collect food. On the other hand, it didn't make the town all that safe. Hello? Do I need to stand on this, or... Okay, I need to stand on it and then shoot that. Got it. What a weird mechanism. The soul orb stopped its examination of the wall and zipped closer to where he was standing. He stepped back behind a shed, not wanting to be spotted. What's with all the werewolves? What do they have to do with the story? Or are they just something to break up the monotony of walking around? What is with the aim of this game? I have to not be moving in order to make it go correctly, I figured. Chapter 5, The Investigation. The soul orb felt like it was being watched, but until that became a threat, it carried on its merry way, observing and recording the events in the village. The first thing it had noted was that there was a king who appeared to be the ruler of the kingdom. However, the king wasn't well respected. Oh good, a fork in the road. I guess I have to press one and then the other. Really? I don't get it. I don't even know where that went. That's still lit up green. Well, I'm missing something. Because that didn't work, and now that's back to orange, so... Do I have to go back this way? Nope, not that way. What's going on here? What am I missing? There's nothing else here. Both levers must be green at the... Yeah. Is there a time limit? I guess there's a time limit. That must be what it is. Either that or I walked so far that I unrendered out the other one. We got it figured out. Oh God. Oh no 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 no. He didn't even see me and he was running for me. Are you kidding? Oh, that was scary. Woo, man. I do not feel good. I don't like how I feel. Ugh. Now, who would design a pillar like this? What kind of sense does this make? apologize, I'm still getting over my illness. "Boo!" had cried the villagers as a prisoner was locked up in a small dungeon to the side of the main watchtower. The soul orb floated over to its tiny window, barely large enough for a cat to escape, let alone a person. The man sat sadly on a wooden bench, or what was meant to be a cot. Whale! There we go. I don't know why I didn't go through the first time. It's a very interesting design choice, though. Look at this. This is kind of cool. Being in the depths of a dungeon in a castle. He clutched a mug of water in one hand and a small chunk of bread in the other. The soul orb noted that was likely all the food he'd get that day. There were few people who looked well in the village. They all looked scared and frightened. Yet the prisoner had an air about him that he was only in there temporarily. So there was hope, and he hadn't been flogged or hung. Well, hanged. Well, there's a gargoyle somewhere over there. I can hear it, but I can't see it. There it is. Could it be that the king was the cause of all the unrest in the village? The soul orb floated away to check out the rest of the village. It was guarded by a low rock wall. Knights patrolled around it, but there were many villages in this kingdom, but only the one the king lived in was protected. Die. Music is kind of fanciful. Ah, God. Right in the patootie. Okay, forward. This village only contained a small castle, several cottages, and row houses. There was a small market square where people did business, but most of the stalls were barren, despite people sitting on stools in despair. The soul orb floated beyond the wall. Out here were some vast and beautiful gardens, lots of fruit, vegetables, and flowers. So why were the villagers so in distress? And then the soul orb saw them, a small band of werewolves. They were hiding behind a laurel bush that was providing shade to a row of benches. A young woman was out with her child. She was walking nervously around, plucking lettuce and carrots from the ground. The soul orb let out a loud howl before the werewolves struck. Fortunately, this was enough to thwart them from attacking. So there are werewolves in this. Like for realsies. Don't you dare fall, rats. Okay. There's no jump button, so... The woman scooped up her child and her basket and took off running for the main gates of the town. The soul orb now understood. The werewolves were hiding underground and coming out and attacking the villagers. This kept the people from living their normal lives, and the king did nothing about it. Chapter 6, The Savior Arrives. Alexander was glad he was back from sailing the seas. He could visit his parents and see what they were up to. He needed that short respite in the cavern. He didn't want anyone to see how tired he'd been. He tossed his crossbow over his body with his leather bag full of bolts hanging from his belt. Clutching his suitcase in another hand, he walked the path to the village. That was scary. So many werewolves. There's more. Oh God! Oh, that's scary. Just turn the corner and there's a werewolf running at me, yo. I do not like that at all. I could barely even see anything down here, so I'm not going to bother. Up we go. This way. This away right here. I don't know where this thing decides to aim itself. As he walked, he sniffed the air. Something was amiss. He'd been a hunter for years and could sense when there were animals nearby. But these animals had a sharp, pungent scent, a bit like the pleasant scent of a wolf, but crossed with the stench of a frightened skunk. The strange smell was related to predators. He had a bad feeling. He grabbed a bolt and his crossbow and set it up. Hello again, Ian. So, werewolves? Have to find the lever. That sound scared me. Die. Now he was ready. He lightly tread over the ground, avoiding any decayed leaves. He was nearly at the edge of the village, where they had all the growing fields. Strange, it was quiet out today. Normally, this part of town would be full of industry. The king had considered extending the wall around the gardens, but since there had been no threats, it had never been done. Isn't that interesting? But that might change as Alexander saw 10 villagers hunched down under an overgrown apple tree. He strode up to them, but they quickly motioned him to stop and be quiet. One frantically pointed behind him. He slowly turned. Then the attack was on. 3 werewolves rushed at him. He had seen some of the villagers with knives in their hands, but that was no match for a werewolf's teeth. He quickly aimed his crossbow and released the first bolt. It slid directly through the werewolf's left eye socket and embedded itself deeply into its brain. He quickly grabbed the second bolt from his bag and placed it within the crossbow. The second werewolf went down. The third wolf was smart and turned and took off running. Anyone else? Anyone else want to try and mess with me today? Okay, just so we're all clear. Ah, yes, classic. Alexander ran around the field, pushing bushes aside and generally raising a ruckus, but there didn't appear to be any more werewolves in hiding, at least for now. All the villagers came out of hiding, proclaiming him their hero and savior. He accepted their thanks, but the hunt was on. He thought he'd seen them go in a particular direction. He was right. They seemed to head toward what was a vast collection of caverns at the back of the town. Chapter 7, the quest begins. Alexander's dream. Again. So I guess here I just sit back and let gameplay itself.
I believe that you, a sailor warrior, can help me. You seem to be having trouble keeping up. Perhaps you need to work harder. Those little legs don't run very fast. If you want, At another time, we can train around that lake in the middle of the kingdom. I'm here to tell you that I can help the kingdom at the behest of the High Wizard Tisha. Okay, I'll give you a clue where I am. I'm here, right here. Okay, I'll give you a real hint. I'm about 4 turns around the corner. I'll hang around in the small nook you are in, but this situation is getting urgent. While you dilly-dally, more villagers are being attacked. You're needed. Get out there and help fight. After that, there is one final quest for you to do involving the king.
Kill him. We're going to kill the king. Chapter 8, The Invaders Strike. Wow, our trophy number is surprisingly low. Look at that. What is that? There's something in the sky. Also, there's a rumble in the controller. That is strange. Look at that moon. Time to roll credits. That's a gorgeous sight. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. You're free to go, said the guard to the prisoner, Dwayne. What? Why? I was having a nice peaceful rest. You have no idea what it's like being around 4 kids all day long. The guard stifled a laugh. Unfortunately, the kingdom is under attack from some other countries. It's all hands on deck. So is he free to go or does he have to fight? Gotta be clear on that. I'm getting more used to that now. Also, I can't help but notice that there hasn't been any all caps words since purple. So I guess there isn't any significance. Really? Did you used to sail? Yep. I often sailed with Alexander. Oh, I hear he's coming back. Yes. In fact, he's already saved innumerable families from the werewolves. But we need more help guarding the village. Okay, lead the way, said Dwayne. He grabbed a sword that the guard presented to him. It could be worse, said the guard, leading him to the gate of the village. Now that is interesting. Just call it a troll or something. Cave troll. There's that magic vial with the bird feather inside. Outside, several country folk wore metal armor and brandished swords. There were several of the villagers outside fighting them off. These included several of the women, which surprised the invaders. They were hesitant in using their swords to hurt the women. The women encircled the dozen men and took them all down. But the invaders weren't done yet. 20 more came running out from behind the fruit trees of the garden. Dwayne rushed forward. He may not be experienced in the art of war, but he had the element of surprise on his side. The tall invader was shocked to see a short little man in front of him with a sword almost as long as he was tall. The sharp end of the sword plunged into his chest. "One!" cried Dwayne. Now he was warmed up. He went to help the other guards fight off the invaders. You're a lot closer than I had hoped. I really missed? Okay, that was on me. Oh good, there's more somewhere. Oh god! Oh, it genuinely scared me. Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I'm fine. Ugh. Goosebumps all over, man. I'm okay. Oh man. He waved at Alexander in the distance. He quickly looked to see if the women needed any help, but they didn't. You'd think the invaders would have learned a female strategy by now, as they quickly encircled another group of invaders, taking them down. But Dwayne had no time to watch. A man in front of him scraped his chin with his dagger. "I'll get you for that," he cried, plunging forward with his sword. The man quickly went down. Then the field was a massive red. The grass would grow better now. A woman smugly left the group, proclaiming, "I'm not cleaning up that mess." "Oh, who is that, I wonder?" asked the guard. "That is none other than my neighbor's daughter, Callie. You don't want to mess with her, though." The guard was impressed. That is a beautiful sky. Lots and lots of stars with just the tiniest hint of clouds. That's just absolutely beautiful. "Say, what's your name?" asked Dwayne. "George," he replied. They shook hands. "Now that the chivalry is done, I need you on guard duty. There could be more coming." Dwayne nodded, happy to help. "Oh, damn!" cried George. "There are werewolves on the way!" "Those damn country folk didn't help our situation. All the women and men look so tired now." Speaking of werewolves, arrow to the knee. That missed. Arrow to the tail. Apparently will kill you. used to it. Well, give the women a break. Now it's our turn. George led the way, sword held high in the air. Dwayne had no training in killing werewolves, but he followed after George. He made a mental note to ask Alexander if he could create a warrior training program for the villagers. Chapter 9: The Possession. What is this place? The soul orb was getting bored. To be able to understand, it must learn. It hovered near where the king sat on his throne. He appeared to be doing nothing, which was most curious, as he was supposed to be the ruler of the kingdom. The soul orb made its decision. It zoomed quickly toward the king and slipped through his ears and into his head. It sounds painful and a little disgusting. I'm probably going to make this the last chapter of today. Seems like after this will be a good stopping spot. The king's body spasmed for a bit as the soul orb made its home. It provided a bit of warmth and strength to the king's mind. He felt surprisingly stable and strong. Whatever had been in that head had worked. He smiled and relaxed back into his seat. He snapped his fingers. "Advi!" he called out. "Yes, Your Highness? What's on the agenda for today?" Advi was a bit taken aback. The king was actually looking at him directly and smiling. "Well, sire, lunch is on the agenda. Then 20 minutes of listening to the villagers' concerns, then tea, then dinner, then ale." That has got to be one very fat king. Especially considering how his villagers, all of his subjects are starving and helpless. The king shook his head and laughed. "That's not good enough. I need you to allot more time to the villagers' concerns." He looked up at the large clock on the wall. "Let's begin at 10 o'clock. Lunch for 30 minutes at noon, then work until 5. Advi looked totally confused. "Yes, Your Highness." He ran away to make preparations. Did the soul orb give the king a soul? Oh good, more of this thing. It is very dark. It's dark even on my monitor. It's not you guys' stream. It's just a very dimly lit game. It's like watching Fantasia. The villagers listed their concerns and the king was on board. Advi was totally confused. These would cost the kingdom. But on the other hand, having support to guard the fields would help to feed all the villages in the kingdom. The king proclaimed that several of the guards must be sent out to hunt down the werewolves. Music just got all dramatic. It's kind of soaring. What is that? Giant purple flames. Can't go in there. Well, where else can I go? Oh, I see. You could go around them by ducking through there. The flames are moving, so there are ways for you to dodge them. Just like that. Okay. Now it's getting brighter. Slowly. It would really suck if I got all the way to the end and fell off. My desk is wood, I just knocked on it. Okay. Got past. Oh, that hit? Okay. A lot of werewolves here. How many more? At least one more. There we go. Just one more. Very good. Ugh. I'll never get over that. Oh, look at the flowers. There had been several sightings of them over the past few days. The villagers helped the guards in tracking down their secret underground lairs. Advi approached the king. Your Highness, I'm concerned. If the guards are out, who will guard this village? The king had a puzzled expression on his face. Whatever do you mean? Our ultimate threat are the werewolves. Beautiful flowers. Beautiful game, honestly. Yeah, if you guys get this for yourselves, you will not be disappointed. I mean, look, even just taking a simple break here to look at like the moon up there and all the scenery around us. Absolutely gorgeous. Walking simulators, when they're done well, offer you the ability to just sit back and look at everything and be very, very content with everything around you. Now the game's relaxing. Advi shook his head. Sire, in case you've forgotten, there are several villagers who are trying to rise against you. The king waved him over to the other throne chair. Take a seat. Advi felt a bit uncomfortable sitting where the now deceased queen had once sat. The king explained, Once we get everything under control, the villagers will see reason and follow me once again. Well, there's a castle. And we're entering a little village. Advi nodded his head. You're right. The king smiled. You'll see. Once the food is collected and more chickens are bred, we'll have a big feast. Once tummies are full, people will be happy and healthy once more. And the king was right. News spread of the guards hunting down the werewolves. They brought back their skins as trophies, which would help provide comfort and warmth during the long, cold winter ahead. The soul orb would stay for a little while longer inside the king's mind. The king was beginning to see reason. I see, so the soul orb is the one making all these decisions then. Or something like that. I hope that the king doesn't lose his mind when the soul orb disappears. Like I said, that would be the last chapter, so... Quit to menu. Yes. Alright. Finding the Soul Orb. There we go. A nice early look at the game. Coming out later this week on consoles. So, yeah. It's a nice little game. Definitely a walking simulator, but a very beautiful one. I love the art style. The story is actually kind of fun. So, yeah. Hope everyone enjoyed that stream. Thanks, Nian, for being here. Thanks, Jesus and Senpai. And shout out to the lurkers as well. This week is Thanksgiving week in America, so I will not be streaming this Friday because I'll be traveling with my wife's family. But I will be back Sunday to continue my playthrough of Venus Improbable Dream. Until then, on behalf of East Asia Soft, I have been Skull. Have yourselves a great day and a great week. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.